a barrow and a barrow down is essentially something of a graveyard.
He goes down and he gets captured by one of the barrow whites. Down here in the dark. Yes, yeah, so Tom Bombadil, he comes along and he scares away the barrow whites.
Hi everyone, I'm ItsJustPeyton.
And I'm NelmanBlack.
And today we are going to be continuing our journey along the Fellowship Path with our installment of the Teen Tours.
In the last two videos, we joined Shen and Credo as they travelled through the Shire, as well as Juno and Hypr in their journey through the Old Forest and the Barrow Downs.
We are currently standing in front of the western gate of Bree, situated on the intersection of the Great East Road and the Greenway. And the town is about 40 miles east of the Shire where we started this series.
This leg of the Fellowship Path takes us right through the heart of Bree, so let's enter the gate and continue walking. Bree is built along the Great East Road, which naturally led it to become a thriving trading community during the Second Age.
After being pushed out of their lands, then known as Angmar, hobbits began to live within the town during the Third Age, and Bree became the only known settlement where men and hobbits lived and worked together. As we come around the bend, you'll notice a pretty iconic location, the Prancing Pony.
Let's get inside and have a look around.
Now, as two fellow Australians, we've been known to frequent a pub or two, but the Prancing Pony is in a league of its own. As you can see, the interior of the pub is completely decked out with tables full of food and plates, and even a couple spare ones if you want to get up and dance on them. And behind the bar, you'll find a small kitchen, some kegs, which is Nelman's favourite part, and a chest filled with the coldest beer around.
Before we leave, let's head upstairs and see if we can find the room where the hobbits were supposed to stay the night.
Oh, it's this one. Hee. I know where things are on the server.
It's the only room with 4 beds in it, so you know it's lore accurate.
Let's head off and hop back on to the Great East Road. Nelman, you can walk first, because I don't know which way. Let it be known that I spend a lot of time on this server.
This is the Great East Road that travels pretty much straight through the centre of Bree.
And Bree itself, server-wise, has one of the longest histories. And it was originally the central hub for people to come and collect books from the Bree IKEA to build MCME over 8 years ago. Did I say books then? I think I did. They collected books. Let's just rewind. Bree on the server has one of the longest histories, and it was actually the central hub for people to come and collect blocks from the Bree IKEA to build MCME over 8 years ago. Many iconic things came out of this era of Bree. It had player housing, named streets, and a separate district for team members, because they were much more special than the rest of us. We even managed to have the tallest generated cactus in the world, which I think is the most important fact on this tour.
The town has been through about 4 recorded revamps and a couple other unofficial revamps, though I'm 100% certain that there will be a couple more throughout the future of MCME.
Yeah, our builders can never make their minds up.
As we make it to the end of Bree, you can see over to the left of us, way in the distance, is Bree Hill.
I feel so slow when I'm not running. Running is a wonderful addition to Minecraft. I don't know why anyone would want to walk. As you can see, we found ourselves at another gate, and this is actually the south gate of Bree. You'll actually notice, if Nelman walks up to it, that there is some amazing work from our animations team. If you are keen-eyed, you'll probably have noticed that the exact same animation was on the front gate as we entered Bree. And even though it's still a simple animation, I think it really brings the server to life and really makes it different to other Minecraft builds.
Yeah, so now as we come out of Bree proper, we are once again still following the Great East Road to the east.
Which way's east, Nelman?
This way.
But that's to the left.
Well, that way is south. This way is east. I'll just say left or right the entire way. So yeah, the lands we are in now are known as the Bree lands. Very original, very
creative.
In the surrounding area, there are also a couple of communities. We have a sign here saying that ahead of us is Staddle. one of those 3 villages.
As Strider and the hobbits left the town of Bree, many of the townsfolk watched them with keen eyes, especially after the commotion they caused with the prancing pony, which is not the most commotion they made the entire journey, but I digress. So after a time when they were covered from the town's view by Bree Hill, they ducked into the Chetwood forest and into the wild. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going full Bear Grylls. Now, it took Strider and the hobbits 3 days to travel through the Chetwood, taking the group as close to the north of the wood and near to Arquette in an effort to travel north. But thanks to some amazing video editing, our zigzag through the woods will only take a mere moment for you lovely viewers.
As we come out of the Chetwood, we enter the fly-infested Midgewater Marsh.
Woo!
The build was originally organised by Willem in tandem with the construction of the Forsaken Inn, which was down to the south there, where the Great East Road sort of circles away from the marsh. The hobbits spent 5 days within the marshes, travelling through waterholes, muddy holes, and tripping over face first like Pippin does in the movie.
Apart from being eaten alive by bugs, which I might add is absolutely disgusting, no one thought to bring bug spray, Aerogard, classic, absolute necessity for situations like these. The most iconic thing to happen in those 5 days was the sighting of a bright light that shone from the peak of Weathertop on night 4, which, unbeknownst to the companions, was actually Gandalf fighting the ringwraiths. He was not successful, unfortunately, as we see from later events, but, you know, he tried his best. Our walk to the next location is long for us, so we'll be providing some quality elevator music, sung solely by Nelman and I, for the duration. I'm on my way from misery to happiness today. Uh-huh.
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 I'm on my way from misery and happiness today. Uh-huh.
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 I'm on my way to
From
what
what I want from this world, and years from now, you'll make it to the next world,
and everything
that you receive up yonder is what you gave to me away I wonder. Finally, out of the marshes we climb, up into the Weather Hills.
And if you're as terrible at directions as me, then you'll be happy to know that we have some footprints on the ground for you to follow the fellowship path. Though I will admit, I still get lost.
Now, as you can see around us in these hills, there are a couple of old structures that were once part of the kingdom Arthedain, as the Weather Hills was right on the border of Arthedain and its neighbouring kingdom Rudar. These 2 kingdoms, as well as Cardlin, were all once part of a kingdom known as Arnor, which when Aragorn becomes king, reforms with Gondor.
Now, we started this tour with one iconic location, and we're ending it with another, Weathertop. It's pretty hard to miss it, even if you're as bad with directions as me.
Weathertop is one of the first ever server-side locations that was built onto the map, being entirely handmade by the community. The version you see in front of you is pretty dang epic, as Peyton would say, being built by Homino and Credo, and assisted by Captain Douglas and several other artists and team members on the server. Like we said, our builders can't resist a bit of an update, and more recently in 2019, Ariel, Bart and a couple other artists spent a day redoing the terraforming for the area, and completing it in an amazing 20 hours from the ground up.
You can fly straight up to the top and not have to jump up 20,000 blocks to get up here. But, I mean, it's part of the immersion into Middle-Earth, so we would highly recommend just walking it, especially if it's your first time. It's an easy workout, and even old men can do it.
Now here we are at the top of Weathertop.
The top of Weathertop.
The top of Weathertop. But unfortunately, this is where we leave you for today.
It was really fun, and we hope you liked it too.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that jazz.
And join the server if you want to check anything you've seen today out for yourself. The IP is in the description, along with all of our other important links, as well as the names of all the amazing team members who have helped us out with our tour today.
I agree.
I concur. Bye! Just you want to do a bye, guys?
Bye, guys.
Bye!